Hey everyone, I'm here with Lynn Tully, the lead hairdresser for American Idol, season 11. Pretty exciting.
We're having a good time this year.
Well, that's why we love Lynn Tully. She always has a good time. We want to ask you about your journey, how you got to where you are. But before we do that, just have you had any favorite looks from the past seasons, things that you've done?
On Idol, I always like putting some extensions in the hair, like pops of color. That's kind of what I like to do.
So anybody, do you remember anybody? Is there anyone that stands out to you?
Shanavon from, I think it was season 9, maybe 10. I don't remember. I think it was 9. But we always put color in her hair, you know, purple, lilac, pink, yellow. It was fun.
Any of the guys?
Well, we did kind of have that thing we did with Big Mike where we taped an extension onto his head, bald, shaved head, because he was, wanting to be like Shanavon, and he thought it was funny. But no, we don't really do too much of that with
So the bottom line, in general, you just kind of love doing everyone and love making sure there's volume and some excitement with the hair, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, as I so often do.
I like the word excitement. That, yes, we like to make things a little more exciting. And I always like to try to throw a little bit of a period, like an essence of a period in hair, like I did with Haley last year. I put a little finger wave in here and there when I can. And I've already done it this season with the top 24. I did kind of get that really glamorous wave in on that first elimination night.
So do you know before it goes on what the song is and if it's the kind of thing where you can do a period piece?
Yes, we know the song, and oftentimes we get photos the night before of the wardrobe. So we can kind of start to, gear up for influencing them in a certain direction, but they ultimately always choose. We're just the tools for them. They make all their own decisions, and we just support them in their process.
Well, that's so great. And this is not my first time interviewing Lynn, and I know you get very attached to the contestants or performers. What do you call them in-house?
I call them the kids, because they're like my babies.
They must love that.
They're like my babies, some of them could be my children, quite honestly. I mean, they're at that age and I'm at that age. But, it's about the nurturing. This particular job is about nurturing. We try to transform them, but some of them want to, some of them are terrified. Some of them just want to do their own hair, do their own makeup, wardrobe, everything on their own. And we'll give them as much or as little as they're comfortable with. So, it's not always necessarily what we want. What we see on camera is not always necessarily what we want to see as hair people. But, it's about the process. It's really just about being the mamas, Okay, so this is, before we get to your journey, I think the whole feather thing had a lot to do with Steven Tyler, and I know you don't do his hair, and he is not doing feathers now. Do you agree with me? There's a loaded question. No.
Do you think he's the one that launched the feathers, and now what is he wearing? He's wearing something else in his hair. Or is he just, in not necessarily being the person who launches it, but is he the person that kind of spearheads these things?
I think there are many influences out there. People just see a photograph and, they pull, they see a picture of a bird or whatever, and, they just kind of pull ideas. And I don't necessarily think that, the feather thing was born with Steven, but, maybe he did bring it back in. I don't know, but people are still wearing them, and they were wearing them before. And, there'll always be people wearing feathers in their hair, I think.
And I see you're doing a lot of crimping and a lot of texture this season. I mean, we are all about texture at Modern Salon. Is that something you're seeing a lot of this season or this year?
You know what? The girls are really interested in braids this year. We talk about braids all the time. We don't always get to put them in, but they're really interested in braiding. Braiding's kind of hot, messy fishtail or like a headband braid. They're really into that.
Oh, you must have so much fun.
We do have a lot.
Okay, so here's the big question. How does one become a Lynn Tully? How did you get, just your journey? Did you start off, you got your license first, did you start off in a salon, or boom, you went right into freelance styling?
No, I was in the salon in Indiana. I went to, the vocational route in high school, did the salon thing. I took I took 2 years off, and I was just part-time, you know, and I did this job at an architecture, a design firm. And it was kind of the same to me. It's like whether you're finding like a tile or, you know, a fabric for someone is kind of the same as finding a hairstyle for them. It's just people skills. So, and then I moved here, and I bounced around to a couple different salons, and Los Angeles is such a sprawl. I didn't really find a spot I fit into, and I landed in an architecture firm again, and these people kind of became like my family, my base. And in that time, I met someone at one of the top agencies for hair and makeup reps, and so I was able to step out of my line of work to get into my line of work, if that makes any sense. So she kind of told me what, you know, I needed to be doing if I wanted to do this kind of work, because I'm like, I'm living in Los Angeles, I should be doing this film work, it could be fun. And, you know, I was older, I was 29 at the time, so it was, you know, more mature, and so it was very easy for me. I talked to her, she's like, just do this, 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 and that. I started assisting people, boom, started getting, like, they would pass their jobs to me, because, you know, when they can't do them. It's a very, I would say, incestuous kind of it's a very tight community, and, you know, we all really, it's repeat referral, and you just have your go-to. If I can't do the job, I send it to this person or that person, and you're always crewing up, so you always have to have, you know, good people in your pocket. Like Mary on Dancing with the Stars has been having me come in and help her, and then this week I have some of her crew coming in to help me, because I have dancers, you know, for guest artists. So, you know, it's a very tight group of people. So, so yeah, we just kind of all kind of, you know, pull each other into our various projects. But when I did get into this freelancing, I started out in commercials mostly, and then kind of evolved from there into day playing on a lot of period films. I love any, you know, I think my first period film was Bobby Kennedy, and it was, you know, the 60s, and it was a lot of fun. I just day played on that, and then it just kind of went from there. So I think my favorite things to do at this point, I've done everything. I do, you know, day play on TV shows a lot. This year I'm working on Touch and breaking in a little bit when I'm not on Idol and Dancing with the Stars. But last couple of years, I did some amazing period films. I worked on The Artist. I worked on Gangster Squad. I worked on a movie called The Master, which isn't out yet. And so I really think my favorites are period films and this competition TV, you know, like Idol.
So it's basically making yourself available, get your resume together, get pictures together, and making yourself available and networking. I mean, it's not like, oh, hi, Lynn, can you just, put me on your team?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. It just takes one job, you know, where you meet one person who likes, A, your work, and B, your personality. Because it's not just what you can do with your hands. It's, are you going to be there on time? Are you going to be difficult, you know? And are you going to be a team player? And so it just takes getting one job you know, if you're starting out, do the assisting thing, whether you're 29 or 59 or 19, you know, just do it, because that's how you meet people, and that's how you understand, you know, this industry, because it is very different than, you know, being in a salon.
Well, thank you so much for this time. I know she's got all the people that she has to go, because the big thing is tonight, right? You're doing we're not saying which night it is. Yeah.
Live at 5.
Live at 5 in LA, but, you know, for everybody else, it's whenever. But thank you so much for giving us this time. It's so exciting to see you again, and congratulations on your success.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks, Art.
Okay, bye.